Libya like we booming. Only one now.
Huh? Only Libya like we
talk to such persons. Okuta kakane uvenkiri.
Okuta ni mati mo la we boom.
Listen to him. Okay, I be the PJ. You know,
when do agwa le boom no go.
Yes, you are helping him to build. He's a bloody bastard. Omonama BSc. Obiye B2 eyikin. We not talk you man okay. We not be if you know you go back mona, we not hear Latin.
Oh, when he's a bloody bastard. Obiye B2 eyikin. We not talk you man. I rest my case. Now let's go to B2. He brought B2 into the issue. Now let's diagnose B2's story. Me obi ye ko etin. Imne ni yo bow. You understand? Now, Era is called B2. Every man guy ye ko etin. Every man is a very poor man. Poor gentleman who does not like problem. You understand? He died at the age of 100 years. 2023. I mean 2024. He died 2024. You understand? So, Mr. Utete Negabi, let's go to your own father, B2, you said. B2 name is Omosagie. That is B2. He was a politician. A politician who stole from the government. Who loots money from the government treasury. And used that same money to build a massive upstairs in Jinswat Junction, opposite Forestry Junction. That massive upstairs, that's the upstairs not called Ministry of Education. Now, what happens to your father? When B2 stole from the government and used the money to build a house, enrich himself and his children, the government started investigating B2. After enough thorough investigation, they find out that B2 stole a lot of money, looted a lot of money from the government's treasury. And they confide on him. They confront him. Then he was arrested. After enough charges, they sentenced him to prison. B2 could not pay back the money. The government seized that upstairs in Jinswat Junction, who is now called the Ministry of Education. It was seized by the government because the father could not pay the money and was still sentenced to prison. While he was still in prison, our king went straight to prison to bail him. King Akenzua, Oba Akenzua. This thing happened during the regime of Oba Akenzua. Oba Akenzua bailed him and made him to become the Iyase of Benin Kingdom. Oba Akenzua was driving B1. Oba Akenzua was called B1. The plate number of the car that we were driving then was B1. While the plate number of the car that Iyase was driving was B2. That was how that name come up, B2. The father's name is what? Omosagie, aka B2. While the Iyase was driving the car, the name of that plate number was called B1. You understand? B2 was an ex-convict from the prison, being released by the king. And he has several children. Utete Negabi and Ebuwa was a criminal. Utete and Ebuwa. Ebuwa is his brother. They were criminals, they were stealing from their father. They were always stealing from their father. Utete was a very dirty boy. They went to private school, a government school. Utete was a very, very dirty boy, but very intelligent. Their father is also intelligent. And they have a sister called the shock, guys. The shock. It shock you. It shock you. So they had a sister called Eduge, the eldest sister of this man. Eduge was always bringing shame and disgrace to the father. Edugie did not go to school. No matter how the fathers tried to sponsor Edugie to school, but Edugie refused to go to school. Edugie was a prostitute. The worst one for that matter. Edugie was also a special child. She was not that too sound mentally. So because of her situation, the father said that she refused to go to school. And she was always mocking the school whenever she go to school. She had to be at home, sitting down at home, always sleeping with different men in her own father's house. That was the biggest shame and disgrace that was coming to the Iyase of Benin Kingdom. And then, while the daughter was sleeping with different men, the opportunity she used to start prostitution, she was now a terrorist prostitute. That is Edugie. Edugie also has a sharp cut in Ugbagwe. Ugbagwe is a street off Mission Road and off Forestry in Benin, where we get some prostitutes, where prostitutes normally stay, where they also said bicycle pass, new bicycle, very close to James Watts, close to the father's house of Hutete. So Edugie was a very terrible prostitute in Benin, who is the elder sister of this man Hutete. Now, you both, B2, baby. Hello? Bro, you could have let the world know who is B2 before you start bragging where B2 were here. You could have let the world know. Your father is very rich. He was a rich man with the money of the government, with the people treasure, the government treasure. He looted money from the government. These were people that were stealing during the Media West bend. The father died at 1977. Yes. The father died in 1977. That was when Omosagie. Bye. Utete. Sit down, shift closer. Let us start. I'm going to make your father popular since he's already gone. We are going to know your father, and we all know that your father now is not an ex-convict. The B2, we all know, is an ex-convict that stole our money, the government treasure, to enrich his family. The government only seized that upstairs. Up to today, that upstairs belongs to the government. Is the Ministry of Education. This is the son coming out to brag. Oh, yeah, B2 a B2 that is ex-convict, that was released by our king. Your father was released by our king. It was the Iyase of Benin Kingdom. The ex-convicts. If I'm lying, you have your platform. Come and say it out. And I'm saying it worldwide. Share this video. Let it get to his table. You should hear his father's story. If you don't know, they can tell you now. Ugwato ko mabe maya to kagera. Ugwato ke ba horame. Maya tawira. You didn't say your father's story. How your father was a criminal when he was a politician. You were eating on Omosagie. Hitting on Omosagie because Omosagie, you did not benefit from Omosagie regime. But when your father was a politician, what did your father do? Omosagie, what did your father do when your father was a politician, a criminal in politics? Who were one of the politicians that started criminalities in Edo State? Was he not your father, B2? At the same time, the Iyase of Benin Kingdom? And they ask you, your father started destroying of our kingdom, stealing the money that's supposed to be used to develop the kingdom. Your father. You have the guts to come out and say you are the son of B2. Who is B2? An ex-convict? A bloody civilian. Idiot. I will bear your backbone. I don't want to drink. How are you? Apology my foot. Oh, mom. Omosagie. 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 Oh. Omosagie. Hello? Wasun eboga gbe besa do gbo Omosagie. Va bol la we gbe la we wa vai wa gbon. Wa ju we bi e ku yin. Asakpi kon we you know my you know no ada Cameroon. Oh, you know. You know. You know. You ni kworo kan gbo e wa you know. You guys, you stupid, you we wa gbo na unero la you we no Omosagie. I believe on you know. You ni kworo. You told many of our women you put blame them into being cultists in society before they come to abroad, just for them to be afraid, so that they will not run from their madam, from their traffickers. They cannot balance them madam. This was what you guys did those days. Most of our women now, who belongs to this, look at their life. Like being my wibu. No manage me almost again that point. Yeah, make it be a car. Oh, you know, Misadini. Usweek when what my Hamuna. Yaga no you know my Dagging Wagging the room, what they didn't know what the way. If you know man or what pointing Latin, if you know man or away put or water, you know, but you know water. Now, man of water was pointing Latin. You guys are supposed to be ashamed of yourself. So, if I need to buy my VA water, is that what you let us understand? If I need my VA water, my young bag, you know, with doggy. You know, no Sagre Mayo. You know, no Bekia will win a Pacon. Okay, you're supposed to be ashamed of yourself.